Endometriosis is not just physical, it's also spiritual, mental, and emotional. Let's look at literature from therapists, spiritual leaders, and intuitives. And lastly, let's look into my dissertation, where I conducted research with 5 women, where we found the emotional root cause of endometriosis, released it, and helped them decrease their symptoms, decrease their pain, and increase their emotional well-being. Hi, my name is Dr. Jennifer Schluter, and I've been a certified hypnotherapist for 7 years. Let's get into the first book. It's a book by Jacques Martel. It's called The Encyclopedia of Ailments and Diseases, and let's see what he has to say about endometriosis. Endometriosis is the formation of fragments of mucous tissues outside the uterine wall. It is related to an unconscious refusal of maternity. It often happens that the relationship I have or had with my mother, or the heritage she left me, physical as well as emotional, is in conflict with what I am and the place I want to hold in this world. I don't know how to position myself before this lady who was so influential in my life. I am afraid that by expressing myself, I might antagonize her. Is it possible that my parents loved each other, but I deny this fact? If I come from a so-called broken family, I may fear that the family I will offer my child won't be perfect, won't be good enough. It is as if this child's nest was somewhere else, and I can suitably welcome it in my own home. Do I have any doubts about my couple? Am I afraid that I or my spouse may go and see elsewhere? Do my aspirations and my life as a couple make me fear that a child will change everything in life? I doubt my capacity for being a good mother. Maybe I fear or sense that the home of this future child will be outside of my house. For example, if I know that my child will have to be cared for in a daycare center for most of the time, I may fear that my child will associate its real home with this place, or this person with whom it spends the greater part of its days. It may also happen that I don't accept the world in which I live, or that I don't dare to be part of it. If I don't accept this world, how can I bring another being into it? Yet, even before my birth, I chose to come into this world. I wonder why I have difficulty in accepting myself as I am and channeling my creativity. This will get important in the other books as well. I allow people to walk all over me, and I swallow everything without saying a word. I feel I don't have the strength to stand up and assert myself, and I constantly experience failures. I become aggressive, for I know I am preventing myself from achieving things because I have difficulty in focusing on my goals. Now let's look into the next book, a book by Carolyn Myss. It's called Anatomy of the Spirits. She's a medical intuitive medium. One of her main claims in her book is that if we have any disease, any cancer, any endometriosis, anything else, we outsource our power to something else. May that be money, may that be our boss, our partner, our work, our career, our children, anything else. We outsource our own power. But here's what she says about endometriosis. Second chakra energy is one of the primary resources we have for coping with day-to-day events in our lives, providing creative solutions to mental, physical, and spiritual problems or issues. Remember the creative one that I talked about is going to get important? Watch out, it's going to come again. Blocking this energy can give rise to impotence, infertility, vaginal infections, endometriosis, and depression. It also interferes with our spiritual maturation, as if stating, I don't wish to see anymore. I don't wish to understand any deeper. I don't wish to interact with the learning processes of life. If allowed to flow, creative energy will continually act to reshape our lives and reveal more meaning for why things happen as they do than we could determine on our own. She also says money, like energy, is a neutral substance that takes its direction from the intention of the individual. A more fascinating aspect of money, however, is the fact that it can weave itself into the human psyche as a substitute for the life force. When people equate money with their life energy, and often unconscious substitution, the consequences are usually negative. For every dollar a person spends is also an unconscious expenditure of energy. A scarcity of money translates into a scarcity of energy in the body itself, again, unconsciously. Let's see what that has to do with endometriosis. The misperception of money as the life force, coupled with a sudden loss of money, can activate any of several health crises: prostate cancer, impotence, endometriosis, ovarian problems, and lower back and sciatic pain. The fact that so many of these physical problems created by a financial stress manifest in the sexual organs is a symbolic expression of the energy of the phallus. The next book is called Body Wisdom by Susie Prudden. Let's get into it, what she says about the uterus. Your uterus represents how you hold, protect, and nurture creativity. In all fetal development, whether it is a baby, a seed, or an idea, it needs a safe place in which to grow and food and water in which to develop. Ideas are no different from seeds of any kind. Ideas need to be nurtured in order to develop. If you have difficulty bringing ideas to fruition so that they can function fully and profitably in the world, you have uterus issues. The issues may include that you don't know how to nurture them to fruition, in which case you may need to research what is needed in your field. Your focus has not been on developing a functioning idea. Rather, your focus has been on developing just any idea without an eye to function. Drawing this card alerts you to the need to learn what goes into developing a functional idea and putting yourself in a position to learn what you need to know. Sorry, this got cut off. When you draw the uterus card or slip, you're being asked to look at the areas of frustration you may be experiencing within the seed to birth expression of an idea. The uterus is the mid-stage where you take the idea and nurture it until it is ready to express in the world. Do you know what you need to know in order to do this? Do you need classes or courses to learn more? Is your life getting in the way of developing ideas, in which case you are failing to protect those ideas? Are you giving your ideas away too quickly? Have you investigated the market for your ideas, and are you working to meet the needs of the market? This is all about making a creative idea ready for presentation to the world. The next book is called The Secret Language of the Body, and it is by Ina Siegel, and here's what she says about endometriosis. Feeling inadequate and unacceptable, rejecting the feminine aspect of yourself, feeling depleted, unsupported, and ungrounded, holding on to feelings of rejection from others, especially men, devaluing and dishonoring yourself, denying yourself love and appreciation. I've used these books for my dissertation as well, and what came out in my dissertation, where I helped 5 women find the root cause of endometriosis, was 1, the biggest reason were ancestral traumas. Like 3 of the women had their grandmothers or their ancestors from their mother's line come to them in hypnosis and talk to them about how they've been betrayed, silenced, punished, and how they have struggled and how they've passed endometriosis on to their female children. Another reason was that a woman was SA'd in her childhood, and that's how the disease was able to spread and come about, because she had never released the trapped emotions that had come about with the SA. Her body did that all unconsciously. The third emotional root cause that I found was that one woman was an artist and she was not connected to her creativity, and she didn't know that the womb represented the center of her creation. So once she got in touch with her womb, when she was able to connect with her womb again, instead of seeing it as something that is hindering her or punishing her or that she's struggling with, she was actually able to create a lot better, and her pain went down and her symptoms went down a little bit, and she also increased her emotional well-being a lot. I have a free ebook about all of this in my bio. Here it is. Just go grab it.